What is the primary driver behind our behaviour? What motivates our actions and influences our choices in life? These are fundamental questions that captivate psychologists and lies at the heart of attempting to understand a variety of human action. What distinguishes people who commit heroic acts from those who perpetrate evil? What prompts selfishness or selflessness? And why do some people resort to violence while others embrace peace? While there are multiple perspectives on the driving forces behind human behaviour, this video will explore two key factors: our individual personality traits and the situations that we find ourselves in. We will apply these ideas to the award-winning show Breaking Bad to understand the character Walter White and analyse his transformation from a high school teacher to the notorious meth drug lord known as Heisenberg. This analysis will examine whether we should attribute his metamorphosis to inherent aspects of his personality or the external situations that he encountered. The debate surrounding whether behaviour is shaped by an individual's personality or the situations they find themselves in has sparked considerable controversy within the field of psychology. On the one hand, we can view human behaviour as a product of one's personality. For example, it seems reasonable to assume that individuals who are more extroverted will naturally gravitate towards socialising and spending time with others. However, the idea that personality is a determinant of behaviour has been challenged by psychologists like Walter Mischel, who question the extent to which personality traits do actually drive behaviour, as studies often show that the association between the two was rather small. Mischel argued that if personality were indeed the primary driving force behind our behaviour, then why is it that our actions can vary significantly across different situations? For instance, why do people tend to be boisterous and outgoing when socialising with friends, yet restrained and quiet when at a library or a church? Well, the answer might possibly be that the situation is playing a large role in our human action. You see, whether we are aware of it or not, the situations that we find ourselves in come alongside various social norms to abide by, and therefore dictate our social actions. For example, if you were to go to the library and get up on the tables and start dancing, you would probably get shouted at by the librarian, while the other people around you using the library look on in displeasure at your obnoxious actions. Likewise, if you sat in silence while out with your friends, they would probably consider you a joyless party pooper and not invite you out the next time they plan something. In both situations, there are social norms that dictate and guide how we are supposed to behave. And from this lens, one can now view our behaviour not as a product of personality, but as a product of the situations, and specifically the social conventions and norms that these situations prescribe. Okay, so where does Breaking Bad fit into all of this? Well, Breaking Bad focuses on a mild-mannered high school teacher called Walter White and his transformation into the drug kingpin Heisenberg. Throughout this series, we are compelled to perceive Walter White's transformation as a consequence of the circumstances he encounters. Initially, Walter is confronted with a cancer diagnosis and faces financial hardships, which leads him to resort to producing and selling methamphetamine. His motivation stems from the desire to secure his family's financial well-being after he dies. As the story unfolds, Walter becomes entangled in a web of further situational pressures, including threats from other people in the drug realm, and these compel him to persist in these illicit pursuits. From this perspective, Walter White's transformation is one driven by circumstances and the situations he finds himself in. On the other hand, the show also portrays Walter as someone who has lofty aspirations, a thirst for power, and a dissatisfaction with his ordinary suburban life working as a teacher. He is also shown to be somewhat of a risk-taker. Consequently, the show therefore also proposes an equally valid perspective to perceive Walter's transformation, as one that stems from features inherent in his personality that fuels his discontentment with his mundane existence and drives him to seek a life filled with excitement and power. So you might be wondering, which one is it? Is Walter's transformation due to the situations he faced or his underlying personality? Well, while historically this question has sparked a lot of controversy and debate, most contemporary psychologists agree that such a binary view was simplistic and futile.
Yes, science!
Instead, the prevailing view acknowledges that both the situation and the individual's personality contribute to shaping behaviour. For example, we might consider that the role of personality is not very good at serving as a reliable and strong predictor of moment-to-moment actions. Perhaps the situational context may offer greater insight in such instances. However, when observed over an extended period, personality can reveal consistent behavioural tendencies. This can be referred to as an aggregate approach, whereby studying an individual's behaviour over a substantial period of time can reveal a general average in how they behave, which is actually more strongly predicted by their personality. This idea of aggregating behaviour may seem odd, but actually the idea is fairly commonplace. For example, in sports, we do not judge a player's skill based on a single game, but rather assess their average performance over numerous matches. Similarly, in education, a student's academic achievement is not determined by one assessment, but rather evaluating multiple assessments to reveal general patterns in their understanding of learned material. If we apply this concept to Breaking Bad, it becomes plausible that the initial financial hardships acted as a catalyst for Walter taking the path of crime. However, it was his personality that propelled him to persist on this path when the individual circumstances he originally found himself in had diminished. Another way we can look to resolve this so-called controversy is by adopting an interactionist perspective. This perspective says that it's the interplay between a situation and one's personality that causes behaviour. The idea is that it takes the right sort of situational conditions and personality style to produce certain outcomes. In the psychological literature, there are tons of studies that support this perspective and examine how personality shapes how people react to or behave in different social contexts. Applying this to the case of Walter White, one could note that he is not the only individual in this life who experiences financial difficulties or adverse health circumstances. However, not everyone responds to these pressures by resorting to manufacturing and selling drugs. It takes a specific type of individual, one like Walter, characterized by a propensity for risk-taking, ambition, and a hunger for power, to embark on such a path. Therefore, it could be concluded that Walter's transformation is the result of a combination of his personality traits and the situational factors he encountered. Thank you for watching. This video has only scratched the surface regarding the various ways psychologists have considered to reconcile these perspectives. Nonetheless, hopefully you found this discussion interesting and gained valuable insights into the complex interplay between personality and situations. It's amazing how television shows like Breaking Bad can illuminate on human psychology. If you enjoyed the video, then please consider giving it a like and subscribing to the channel. Your support means a lot to us and motivates us to create more content like this in the future.
Who are you talking to right now? Who is it you think you see? You clearly don't know who you're talking to, so let me clue you in. I am not in danger, Skylar. I am the danger. A guy opens his door and gets shot, and you think that of me? No. I am the one who knocks.